Hi learners, welcome back to SOEM program. Very good morning all of you. Today we are going to learn about information retrieval system, its features and components. As we all are aware, with advances in science and computer science in the modern era, the generation of data information across all fields of knowledge has grown tremendously over the past few decades. Managing, storing, querying, and retrieving this vast amount of information require advanced methods and appropriate technology. Simply generating this information is not the ultimate aim of a library. It is equally essential to meet users' information needs. Therefore, it is very clear that the representation, organization, and retrieval of relevant information are crucial aspects, which is precisely the focus of information retrieval. So, in this information retrieval system, we are trying to collect data or information and we are managing it, then we are storing it, and whenever the queries from the users, the system will be able to retrieve the information according to the requirements of the users. So, because of this rapid growth of data generation across a discipline, it will become difficult to manage a data, manage information for a library without an information retrieval system. So that is a need, it became a need for sophisticated data management and retrieval system in the library. Because of this organizing the information in a proper way, this retrieval system which will able to provide the record information to the users. Another important aspects of the need for such a type of system is the complex and evolving nature of user information needs. We cannot predict information needs of a user, especially for the special users. Their needs, their demands will keep on changing according to the requirements of their work or according to the requirements of their research or for decision making. So, because of all these reasons, we compelled to have an information retrieval system in libraries. So, today we are going to learn about what is information retrieval system, who is behind it, and what are different components of information retrieval system and how it functions. I hope after completing this lecture, you will be able to understand more about information retrieval system, its features, its functions, and its various components. As far as the history of information retrieval is concerned, the term information retrieval was coined by Calvin Morse in the year 1952. The information retrieval, which will encompasses all activities pertaining to the organization, processing, and access to various information from different forms and formats. Another important feature of information retrieval system is which will enable the individuals to interact with an information system or service to locate information, including text, graphics, images, sound, recordings, or videos that meets their specific information requirements. So, another important feature I can say, information retrieval system is a specialized software framework, or it's a tool that facilitates the efficient retrieval of relevant information from extensive data collection. Okay, we can call it a software framework or it's a tool. It will help the user to have a efficient data retrieval system from the very large amount of data collections. And these systems are designed to manage diverse information formats like textual documents, multimedia files, or structured or unstructured databases. And this primary objective of an information retrieval system is to bridge the gap between user queries and available information by identifying and presenting the most pertinent result. This is another feature of information retrieval system which will give you an most relevant, most pertinent result from the this huge amount of data collection. If you say something about if you want to discuss about the definition of information retrieval system, I can share you two definitions. One definition, obviously, which was given by Calvin Morse, who is coined the term. Quote, information retrieval is a field concerned with the structure, analysis, organization, storage, searching, and retrieval of information. Unquote. So, from this definition, it is very clear that information retrieval system in a particular field which will having the structure, analysis, organization, storage, and searching and retrieval of information, which means all about handling of and managing of information. According to Larson, in his definition, is the recent definition on information retrieval, quote, information retrieval, IR, is concerned with the storage, organization, and searching of collections of information. Unquote. So it is also another. It is adding the to the definitions which is given by Calvin Morse. It is saying almost same. It is saying it's a concern with the IR is concerned with the storage of information. Storage means once you store the information means you have to analyze information, you have to organize information, and you will be recording or storing the information. And the organization of data or information, and finally it is searching and searching of information. Finally, you will get the result out of all this collections of information. So these are two definitions. And if you go for the historical developments, it is starting around 3000 BC. The Sumerians began archiving clay tablets with cuneiform inscriptions. That was Sumerians, that was in the 3000 BC. And after that, whenever Bush article entitled As We May Think, introduced the concept of automatic access of information in the year 1945. And 1950s, H.P. Loon, Hans-Peter Loon proposed the use of words as indexing units and measuring word overlap the retrieval of documents. That was in the 1950s. In 1951, another landmark in the field of information retrieval is Mortimer Top introduced the coordinate and the unitime indexing system. And information retrieval, we will find another development in 1957, that is with the Cranfield experimental project, that is Cranfield 1, led by C.W. Cleverton. C.W. Next one is Cranfield first experimental project, led by C.W. Cleverton. That is 1957. Then if you go for the 1960, there was a smart system which was developed by Gerald Salton. It is another landmark as far as information retrieval system is concerned. Smart system given by Harold Salton. And 63, 66, you'll find second project of Cranfield 2. It was tested with the leadership of C.W. Cleverton, Mills, and Keene. In 1966, 1967, you will find the evaluation of medlas in the field of medical literature by F.W. Lancaster. In 1969, we will have in the development in the form of introduction of the concept of a visualization interface by J.W. Salmon. And in 1970 and 71, Medla's demand search service evolved. In 1982, Belkin, Audi, and the Brooks, they introduced a system Ask. Between 1982 and 1988, there is a model known as Okapi that was developed at the Polytechnic of Central London. And in 1989, it is one of the very important contribution given by Tim Berners-Lee in the form of a World Wide Web. And in 1992, there is a text retrieval conference which was established. And 1996, Larry Page and Sergey Brin developed the PageRank algorithm at Stanford University. In 1997, Google Incorporation is founded. You know, the search engine Google was founded in 1997. And in 2003, you may find another major development in the form of a latent direct allocation LDA introduced by David Blay, Andrew Ng, and Michael Jordan. Okay, so there's some historical backgrounds. Now, you know, apart from search engines, meta search engines, and artificial intelligence, machine learning has been made a lot of developments or lot of advancements in the field of information retrieval. Now we are going to discuss what are different types of information retrieval system. Depends on the search or the retrieval system which we followed in the information retrieval system. We're having different types of information retrieval system, IRS. First one, we can say it is a keyword search. There we use keyword search for retrieving the information. And another one is a Boolean search, where we use Boolean operators for searching information. And vector space model, latent semantic analysis, then probabilistic models, then language models. Okay, so these are the different types of IRS. Let us discuss one by one. The keyword search model, that means the majority of IR tools rely on keywords, okay, which require the user to enter a query term. Any query, that means the form of a keyword they have to add, and they will get the most efficient retrieval approach. And they have different issues like language ambiguity and spam indexing, etc. But still, this AR information keyword search AR is also being used. Here we use the Boolean operators like or, and, not. So this, if you're using this options, we will be having an enhanced research precision. But still, there have some challenges which we are facing in this system, that the AND operator doesn't ensure that terms appear together, leading to potential irrelevance. And another drawback of this system is every Boolean queries which require a syntax knowledge, making them difficult for those unfamiliar with Boolean techniques. This can limit the search effectiveness if the user doesn't have knowledge about how to make the syntax of these Boolean operators. He will be failed to retrieve the relevant document from the data collection or the database. The another limitation of Boolean search model is Boolean search lacks relevance ranking, retrieving only the binary matches without prioritizing highly relevant documents. There is no priority for highly demanded or highly relevant documents. It will retrieve the match without giving any uh, weightage, which is crucial for effective information retrieval. Vector space model, in other hand, that means the problems which you faced in the IR system by using the Boolean models. So the vector model has been introduced. It has three stages. One is document indexing, and it will give the term weighting and the similarity ranking of documents. So here weightage also given for the different terms, and there is a similarity in the ranking documents. For example, the smart and wide area information servers, smart and wise, are the best examples for use of vector space modeling. The fourth IR type is latent semantic analysis. Latent semantic analysis is referred to a latent semantic indexing, LSI, employs a statistical and mathematical approach to deduce contextual and structural information within words and sentences. It was developed in the year 1990s, and it has been enhanced in the enhanced. It was developed in the year 1990, and it was been improved, modified in the mid 1990s. The LSA, latent semantic analysis, is fully automated process primarily used in information retrieval and document similarity assessment. Obviously, LSA also having some limitations. It employs a bag of words approach, disregarding word order, which can provide a valuable contextual information in sentences. When we are correlate LSA well in human judgments, this correlation can vary significantly between individuals and are heavily influenced by the choice of weight functions, retain factors, stopping, and backgrounding. So these are some drawback of this latent semantic analysis. If we see the probabilistic models, this model estimate the probability that a document will be relevant to a given query. The underlying assumption is that the terms in a relevant document are distributed differently from the terms in a non-relevant document. And some major disadvantages of this model is the initial definition of what is and is not is highly subjective. The method ignores the frequency of the index term within the document, and the model assumes that the index terms are independent. Okay, these are these different models. Another model is language models. So we will be discussing these models in another class in detail. Okay, the language models, the algorithm in natural language models integrate statistical and semantic data. Semantic information is extracted through language processing, which does not treat words in isolation. The key benefit of this model or this type is its ability to index phrases rather than individual words, adding an extra layer of disambiguation. The potential for using natural language in information retrieval is significant as it could enable searches based on meaning rather than just a keywords. Again, they have some drawbacks. Major challenges we will find in the case of lexical ambiguity and the limited impact of semantic information on improving the effectiveness of the information retrieval tools. So, other features of the major features of IR system will find the ability to search across various document types, ability to respond complex and user queries, presentation of result in various formats, and in the case of text, image, and video. And what are different functions of information retrieval system? As you know, if you need information retrieval system, you need a data, you need a collection of database. So first of all, you have to identify the relevant information for your information system. And once you identify that information source, you have to analyze it, analyze the document content, and you have to prepare that content according to the queries which may put up by the users. Means you have to prepare some metadata according to the user's approach. And once the user queries will arise, will receive, then the system will function as analyzing the user queries. It analyzes the user queries, and the next function will be match the queries with the database. The user query, what the user is asking some information. For example, the user is asking some data about the cyber. For example, the user want to have some information about cyber security in libraries. So the system will analyze the user queries, cyber security and libraries, and that will match the user query with the database. So in database also we have the content metadata which is created there. So then it will match the both queries and the database. Then relevant information will be retrieved. That information will be provided to users. There's another function, retrieving the relevant information after matching of user queries and the database. Then next will be the adapt to change. That means the next function is if there is information system which is the improvement of information retrieval system is a continuous process. So sometimes the information systems we need some sort of feedback from the users to monitor the accuracy and the performance of the system. So once you take such a feedback, So according to feedback, you can improve, you can change the record modifications you can make in the information retrieval system. So it is a continual improvement process, ensuring the system remains effective, secure, and aligned with organizational goals. IRS information retrieval system is a system we have in different components as a subsystems. The first one is the document subsystem. That means the data which we collected, the data which we organized, that is a document subsystem. Then we will going for the indexing subsystem. That means the source data and the documents are processed to create an index so that user can easily search the documents. So the creating the index by mapping the terms and data to the documents that contain them. Okay, so we are preparing the index, that is the indexing system, the indexing that we are calling as a indexing subsystem, so that we can easily retrieve the document from the database of information retrieval system. And we have in the vocabulary subsystem, because user queries will be having different ways they'll ask you the queries, they will put up the queries. The system should make in the standard format of while checking the synonyms and other characteristics of that queries. And the data which you have in the textbook also, which you have in the data in the database also, we have to create a standardized term we have to use in the information retrieval system while you're creating the metadata. So in that cases, we will be having the vocabulary subsystem there. Once you are in vocabulary subsystem and once the query is put up by the user, there will be a query process that we are calling as the query processor. So the query processor, what will do? It will be match the user queries, user requirements with the keywords and the metadata which we already created in the database. So then that is a query process. The query will be processed, they will match. Then they have in the ranking algorithm, it determines the relevance of documents to a query and assign them scores. Okay, some documents will be having more useful or more relevant. So in that cases, we have to prepare a ranking algorithm for that. The most common algorithm which we are using is the BM25, the best match 25 ranking algorithm, which is notable for its modified approach to term frequency that avoids oversaturating the document with keywords and the repeated terms. The user interface is a display through which users interact with the system, and users can submit queries and are presented with the result. So the submitting queries and receiving the result by through user interface. Here the result can be tuned based on how well the survey user query. In some cases, mechanisms might allow users to provide feedback on the relevance of retrieval documents, which can be improved in future retrievals. So this is something about the user interface. This is the time to conclude today's lecture. So with advancement in the information retrieval system, it will become a vital for facilitating easy access to information. IR system organize, index, and retrieve the information according to the response of user queries. And different components of information retrieval systems which will collaborate to sift through and display pertinent information. And we have different models which offer framework for efficient retrieval, the customized retrieval to various scenarios. The continued significance in managing and retrieving the information. And with the advancements in the artificial intelligence, especially the generative AI, machine learning, the information retrieval could be on the brink of a transformation shift. Machine learning is already making strides in retrieval by learning from user interactions and adjusting to factors like context, location, and preferences. Machine learning automatically identify the behavior of user search, and the enhanced natural language processing and semantic analysis are improving how systems interpret user queries and understand document content. The generative artificial intelligence will influence the information retrieval system, which could be a groundbreaking. Instead of the traditional ranked list of links, we have to sift through to find relevant information. We could receive direct answers to our questions. Context would be carryover between questions and enabling complex conversational multi-step queries with fewer language and intent barriers. Dear learners, this is something about information retrieval and its uh, system, its components, and the features. We are concluding here today's lecture. So this is something about information retrieval system, their features, their functions, and components. Thank you. Thank you very much. We will meet with another topic in the next class. Take care.